All hail the beard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we back for another edition of Big Beard Business. Today we are talking about the return of a legend, or the house in itself has been great, especially upon their return. And the fragrance house that I'm talking about is the house of Commodity. Now, a lot of us out there have been, a little sad since they departed, but as I mentioned, they are back, so I'm free to talk about their fragrances once again. Now, because of that, I'm going to give you a review on one that I really find enjoyable, especially for the fall and winter, if you are watching this in the fall and or winter. The fragrance that I'm talking about is from the house of Commodity, obviously, and the fragrance is Commodity's Wool. Commodity Wool is from their black collection, and most of the fragrances that I have within my collection from them at the moment are centered around this black collection. Now, these are Eau de Parfums 100 ml bottle, and you get a clear setup there. Now, it's pretty simple, right? I'm about to spray myself in the eye here. Let's you see what you get in distribution there. Woo! Now, the inspiration behind this fragrance is as follows. I need you to use your imagination here. Close your eyes and follow me along in this journey. So the perfumer states something like this. The inspiration of this fragrance is to be on a cold winter night, huddled around a fireplace that is crackling with a wool blanket underneath you. A warm wool blanket nonetheless, okay, is the inspiration behind this fragrance. Now, I know what some of you out there thinking, yo, B, that sounds eerily similar to a fragrance from Maison Margiela, which is by the fireplace, all right? That one is supposed to be centered around you being around a fireplace. But this fragrance here is totally different. They're nothing alike, but they could be used for very similar situations. So sit back and let me tell you all about this fragrance. But before I do, let me give you the note breakdown. On the top of Commodity's Wool, we have mandarin, grapefruit, and we also have apple. And in the mid of this fragrance, or the heart of this fragrance, we have fresh ozone, we have basil, we have lavender, we also have cedarwood in the mid of this fragrance. And then in the base, we have amber, we have Haitian vetiver, we have gray musk, and we have bourbon vanilla. All right, that's what you can come to expect with this fragrance. But what does any of that mean? So as I've already stated, wool is a part of this black line collection, and those fragrances are really those darker, more moody, more sensual fragrances. And with this one here, I get something that is fresh, moody, and sensual. I don't really find this one to be dark, but I can see where they were going with this one. Now, if you listen to the story that I talked about with this fragrance, you begin to visualize what a fragrance would smell like, or what type of mind state you would be in if you were on a cold winter night around a crackling fire with a warm wool blanket behind you or underneath you. You would think that you would be in a good space. And to me, this fragrance really represents that. I think that this fragrance has this uplifting quality about it. And if I am in that type of situation where I can just think of it here now, right? So I'm around my fireplace, it's cool, it's cold. I want to make sure that I'm getting cuddled up or just feel a bit better, and this fragrance is something that is definitely going to help you along the way. Now, on first spray of this fragrance, it's uber fresh. Not uber fresh, it's fresh nonetheless, but that mandarin and the apple really begin to show up for this fragrance. And I think those notes in itself are things that you can detect, not easily, but you can definitely detect them there. But there's this freshness there, and that part of it to me is what makes this fragrance uplifting and inviting. As this fragrance further develops, you begin to get something that is different for a fall scent. So as you can see, that was, if it's still on the screen, I'm not sure. I talked about this one having that ozone note in the mid. Now, ozone in fragrances pretty much refers to that sea salty vibe in the fragrance, and there is some saltiness here, very little in my personal opinion. I believe that the saltiness in this fragrance really gets infused with that opening notes, right? That apple, that mandarin, they really get infused there with that grapefruit as well, but it's there. It adds this additional freshness to it and a little bit tanginess to this as well, which is weird when you think about a fall scent, but it comes together extremely well. The true beauty of this fragrance, in my personal opinion, although the opening is nice, the beauty of this fragrance to me comes in on the dry down, as I really begin to get this creaminess, and that's brought in from that bourbon vanilla that I really enjoy. When I think about that in this fragrance, that's another thing that gets me excited about this, because that bourbon vanilla brings a bit of sensuality to the scent. And if we think back to what I originally talked about, this being a part of the black line, darker, moody, more sensual for him, for her, for you, and for me. This was really where those things begin to pop and come out a bit more. In addition to that, you might be thinking, B, this is a fall and winter scent, as you said, but you're talking about these fresh notes, okay? Yeah, so I talked about the fresh notes, but again, the beauty in the base, you begin to get that bourbon vanilla, but there's also that amber here that just brings this different piece to the scent, man. This is making me happy. It provides some warmth to this fragrance, all right? So it starts off fresh, it transitions a bit, and then there's some warmth there that makes this cozy and cuddly. So if we think back to the imagery given or drawn to this fragrance about this crackling fireplace, the warm blanket, that's where everything comes to life and the picture is completed. In terms of wearing this scent, I think that this one is a solid fragrance for fall, especially as we transition into fall months where it's not super cold and you get some of those days where you might have a cold morning, a bit more warm afternoon, or vice versa. I think that this fragrance is one that is really primed to do well and perform for you. To me, wool is definitely a sensual fragrance, so feel free to wear this one in those close encounter situations. Now, despite this one being a part of the black collection and supposedly having this more intense vibe, I don't get anything that's intense within this fragrance, whether this is from the actual smell on this fragrance or its longevity and performance. I think that this one is run-of-the-mill in terms of performance, which is okay, as I feel comfortable enough with the price point on this one to reapply throughout the day. Now, Commodity is a house that I consider to be niche because they don't do anything else but fragrances. I know some may disagree, but that's my personal thought process in this here. And with that price point, which is now lower than it was when you saw them back in Sephora back in the day, I think that you're good to go. I have it linked down below for you to check out, and I also have a discount code with them that you can utilize and save 10% off of your order, which makes it that much better. I know a lot of you stocked up on some of these as you know they begin to go out of business, but now that they are back, if you have not gotten the opportunity to get your nose on these things, definitely do so. They have sample sets available, so you can do that, but this is one of the standout ones in my personal opinion. For me, wearing this scent, I've gotten about 4 to 6 hours in terms of longevity, but again, this is a fragrance I'm not afraid to reapply. I really like it. It smells great. In terms of projection, this one doesn't have massive amounts of projection, but it's different, right? If I'm thinking through these cold times, you're looking for a fragrance to really cut through. This one opens up fresh and then it dries down a bit warm. To me, this one is more so for those cuddle buddy situations, or if you're in the office, in a cubicle, something, you can wear something that's sensual, inviting, and uplifting, that's not going to be offensive to those around you. And that's really something that is important these days. Now, I know what you're thinking. If you need something that's going to jump through and cut through the mask, I don't think that this one's going to do it. But again, if you are in a close encounter situation with someone that you are personally attracted to, or you personally feel good about, to not have any diseases passed along, or any infections, or anything, any types of sickness around you, and you feel comfortable being close to them, this fragrance is one that I think you could get away with for sure. The official rating for this fragrance for me, given even the performance that I feel that this one could be a bit better in performance, I would give this one an 8. I think that this one stands on a leg of its own in terms of its actual smell of this fragrance, the situations that you will wear it in, and the compliment factor attached to this one when worn in the correct situations. So that's my take on commodities wool. This one is a personal commodity, as all of the fragrances within their collections are named after true commodities. But wool is definitely a standout one and not a commodity you want to miss out on. So there you have it. That's my take on this fragrance. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on the entire house. Which ones do you have in your collection, or which one would you like to see me talk about next? As always, I'm your boy, Big Beard Beat. If you hit the like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend that we are back again. And you already know what I need you to do. Just hit the goddamn bell.